Devin got straight to the point in this segment from the Aussie Arm Wrestler podcast describing what has happened. No bullshit, just straight to the point.
The raw, straight fact is Engen sold the company. He quit. He went about actively to destroy the company. When a friend came in, bought the company from him, bailed him out due to health concerns. So you basically fucked over like a family member. You basically fucked over a good friend of yours who came to help. To me, and he's like being hailed as some kind of, great person.
And it's surprising how patient Robert is being with this whole process. Some people are saying he's being too slow, with trying to reach an agreement. He should be more firm on making a stance. If these Eastern Europeans don't want to pull, then just, forget about it, not trying to appease them and have them on podcasts and convince them that, we're good and we have good intentions, even though that seems a little weak to some people, but let's continue.
He followed around, give your head a shake. This guy just ripped off his buddy for a ton of money, and he's destroying the greatest thing that arm wrestling...
Ton of money. Yeah, I'm wondering how much he sold the league for. That would be interesting to know.
...is put together. Why people in any way followed him? Guys, take some time. Actually think about what happened. And using me as a scapegoat, y'all can fuck yourselves, okay?
So one thing he mentioned on this podcast was that letter from the 27 athletes to Robert. They had mentioned specifically Devin. Now, Robert in the podcast today earlier as well made sure to emphasize that in Devin's contract with East versus West, he does not have authorization to control the rules or have any control like that. He's not an owner whatsoever. So he made that pretty clear on the podcast there. But one other thing that is pretty cool that I heard from this podcast is that Devin is open to pulling Vitaly, it seems like, at the Siberian Power Show, which he mentioned that it was in March of next year. So potentially we won't see Devin for a little bit. He'll take a break after the Shaw Classic. And to have him pull Vitaly in Russia, that would be pretty huge. Imagine if that actually did happen. So we'll see about that. But I mean, honestly, a lot of people have been saying that they should not bring Engen back in any capacity. I'll read some comments from my video earlier today. If Engen comes back in any capacity, this will happen again. He will get mad or not like something and do it again. He sold the company, but thinks he can still have all the control. Say no to Engen and say no to drugs. Eastern athletes are so sensitive. Robert is not slow. Engen is unreasonable. Robert is totally over Engen, says this person. This just in, Robert and Dexter own East versus West, not Engen. Move on from Engen and his followers. It's been 5 to 6 weeks. The fact that they have not reached an agreement is so telling. It is unlikely that they will reach an agreement. F Engen and F any athletes that won't compete without him. Tell me right now who didn't like East versus West while under Engen. Now all of a sudden he has to go. You people have lost sanity and judgment and grace. So there we got someone with an opposing viewpoint. So really the question is, should Robert send over a document, a contract, an agreement to Engen to formalize that he's still involved to some capacity, or is it not even worth the hassle whatsoever to potentially have future events that could harm the sport, such as what has happened? And is it not even worth it to even try that and just to move on without him? Is that a better direction? Let me know which one you think and also what will happen. We're only 1 week away from the Shaw Classic. So yeah, hopefully this is a great event and we'll see what happens from there, guys.